All right. So I am going right now. I am going to my video that I did on Wednesday, the previous one. It takes a minute for them to kind of get it uploaded. For me to be able to go in there and change some of the issues with them putting too many ads in. Because I'm monetizing these videos, but when I click on them, I get complaints sometimes, not very often, but there's too many ads, can't watch it. And I totally agree. I'm putting ads in before, but on the pre-roll, see, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like literally 10 ads in the first 40 minutes. That's not going to work. It's especially since I'm not having to share royalties with anybody. So, hey, Bruce. Looks good on that on the cigar box guitar. Hey, Paul Meyer. Good morning. Okay, so I fixed that. So now if you go back and watch one video back to learn how to harmonize, and we're going to talk about that some more today. Then, as you can see, because I actually have now, I think this was how we harmonized. I just did this morning. Something like that. Something like that. Oh, thanks, Roger. You like that? I just changed. That's why I was late. I was literally ready to go. I was almost hitting play right out to 9 o'clock, right at the top of the hour. And then I was like, oh, you know what I should try? I mean, actually, the new video is doing well. It's doing better than normal. Analytically, it says, well, let's see if I go to, yeah, it's tracking quite a bit over average. It's already in the first 16 hours, I've got 500 views. Normally, I'm between 260 and 330. So that's a good sign. I'm hoping people are going back and watching that other one too that I did. I did put a card in there so you can link back to that. Let's see if that one is getting any more views. Analytics. Yeah, definitely gotten more views. A little bump from that video. So that's good. But what I did was I went to the video I did on Wednesday, the live stream, and deleted a bunch of the ads. I apologize if you watched it and you got all the... Here's the thing about that. They put all those ads in the first 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, there's no more ads. I don't know if you can see that, if there's like little indicators on the window there, but yeah. So this actually, the cool thing about this is this video, the new video, is ranked number 2 overall for me, of course, behind 7 Tips. So, but my view count overall is down. So, but the reason I was late is because I just changed the card there. I just, because initially, and I'm going to do this to all of them, I think. I'm going to go back to all of these videos, all of the Dig Deeper ones, and change the card there. Because originally, the screenshot or whatever, the card that I have, had just the basic E minor chord. And I thought, you know what, that looks like really baby stuff to more advanced players. And I thought that maybe what would happen is, they would just go, I know how to play an E minor chord. But I put this one, the most complex one. I made sure that that's in the screenshot. So it definitely should maybe pique some interest. So now I have to figure out which one. Like, that one is kind of nice on the A minor. I'm going to do B minor next. So I've got to figure out some ways to do B minor. Some of them are going to be cheater ways. And then I got a new toy yesterday in the mail. I haven't really messed with it too much. A couple reasons. I got this guitar bow called Picasso, and it's a mess because it requires rosin. Although it does come with a cloth. I'm assuming that it will. The cloth. I'm assuming the cloth is. I'll clean it up later, but to kind of get rid of some of this stuff because rosin is very sticky, and so if you're a string player, you recognize this. For guitar players, so when I do the video on it, I'm gonna do 2 videos on it. One, I'm going to do a video where I review it, and one of the things I'm really going to emphasize is, look, violin players deal with this all the time, but rosin is messy, so you may not want to, and it messes up your strings, and it messes up, I tried it on this guitar. The other problem with it is, the reason I have to wait on doing the video for it is I need to get some non-elixir strings. Sorry, there was too much light on my face there. I need to get some non-elixir strings because coated strings, it doesn't work very well. I mean, I can show you briefly. I'm going to jack up my strings, but that's okay. In fact, I'm supposed to be getting sets from Elixir, but I don't know where they are. But like if I try to do it on the G string that's coated, nothing. But listen to the B string. So it's pretty cool. I think I'm going to use it quite a bit because I'm always looking for weird sounds and stuff. But I'm probably going to have to designate a guitar for it that I'm just going to have to accept is going to have rosin all over it, and the strings are going to be sticky. And I mean, because right there where I was doing the rosin, where I was doing the bowing, the strings are going to be, you can have rosin on them, and it's just really, really tacky. So anyone of you who have ever dealt with a violin knows what I'm talking about. So in fact, I'm even going to put this in the little pouch that it came with, which tells you all you need to know. But it's pretty cool. I don't know, do they sell it at Amazon? I bought it directly from the company. And then the second video I'm going to do is I'm going to do a giveaway. So that's a video that will be up for a temporary time, and then I will take it down once the giveaway is over because I don't want to be bugged by people. And I have to figure out how to do the giveaway. One of the things is I've got this, I actually subscribed to it. It's very, very cool, but I haven't used it yet. But it's a way to do giveaways. And I have stuff to give away. I just haven't done it. But the cool thing is this company is in Tel Aviv. And they said they'll ship to anywhere. So for me to tell them who won, and then they'll ship it. So, hey, hello, John. So that's, if I end up doing the giveaway, they'll deal with all that aspect of it. Because I've only done one giveaway before. I ended up I gave away like 3 sets of strings, and I spent more money on the shipping than the strings cost. Like a lot more. It was like $80 for shipping and $30 for the strings. But giveaways are a great way to, Alex, my son Alex, he does the social media for Voodoo Lab, and they did a giveaway this week, and they got like 3,000 new subscribers. So it's a good way to get new subscribers, and that's this service that I would subscribe to. I don't know that they charge anything. It's just it's a website, and you run the contest through them, and they will do the selection. But what they do is that you can get, like, you can ascribe, like, if you are a new subscriber to my channel, you get 3 entries. If you're already a subscriber to my channel, you get 2 entries. If you subscribe to my TikTok, you get 3 entries. If you follow me on Facebook, you get another 5 entries, and blah blah blah, things like that. And so that it's a kind of a goal. The goal is to kind of increase your social media standing and all that. But anyway, hey, Gear View, sorry, I haven't seen you in a while. Let's see, I got to say some hellos, shout outs, sorry. I got 27 current viewers. Let's see who we have. Bruce, thank you. Holly. Do we have all of the moderators here? Dennis is here yet? Dennis, there he is. Sack is here. Jeff, I think Sack was the first commenter on the new video. Roger, thank you for your comment on the new video. Joseph Finley, good to see you. AJ, John Landman. Let's see, John Sharp, good to see you, John. Sham's in the house. Guitar Dog's in the house. Lena's in the house, or in the computer. Jack Lloyd's here. Jeff Hook, I said you were up there already, right? Did I already say? Yeah, there you are. But I see you, John, in Louisville. Michael Mason, good to see you. Sounds like early psychedelic Pink Floyd music with their weird sounds back in those. Yeah, I mean I'm always looking for new weird sounds. It'll work on electric too. In fact, it'll probably work better on electric because you got 3 unwound strings. Works fine on the unwound strings. It's the, but I already have an EBO, and the problem with electrics is that you don't have a sound hole to shove it down into, because it really, the nice with acoustics, they even say do it as close to the fretboard as you can to get the best sound. So we'll see. I'm gonna mess with it. I've got to order some non-elixir strings though. That's what's funny. I got to get some unwound strings so I have them. I almost ordered some Martin ones, and then I looked at it and said Martin, like long lasting or something like that, and that's their code for coded. And I was like, dang it, no, not that one. Hey, Mamba's in the house. So this is pretty close to what we did Wednesday, the harmonization. See, I'm sorry, I'm reading the music, not the tab. Okay, so mostly what we did was thirds, but sometimes thirds don't really fit well with the chords. And part of what you want harmony to do is to really display or promote the harmony of the song. And the song goes to C, and the third for the G was B, but that doesn't really do anything to promote the notion that there's a C chord right there. So that's where you would throw in the fourth, because it fits over the chord better, which is why I gave you the chord tones there as well, so you can see the triad tones. Sam is having his surgery today. That's right. Let me just pray for him real quick. Lord, we lift up Sam, and we just pray for wisdom and mad doctor skills for his doctors, Lord, and we just ask that you would just calm his heart, help him to get through the surgery with the minimum impact on him, and help him to recuperate and get through the rehab with flying colors. In your son's name we pray, amen. Okay. Live prayer prayer line live. I just lost like 8 viewers. Sorry. But I like to go to my God when a friend is in pain. So okay. So that's why we sometimes do fourths. Now, here's a thing we can do. Now I remember I told you on Wednesday that the inversion of a minor or a third is a sixth. Okay. I don't want you to stress about this. Okay. There won't be a quiz on this, so take a sip. That's one of our drinking game rules. If I say there won't be a quiz on this, we can take a celebratory sip. Also, if I touch my face, but that probably happens way too often. We have 15, 16, 17 rules now. Way past 10. Yeah. I'll put this. Yeah, Jack Lloyd, that's a good idea. Thank you. I will put it up there right now because I have it in our folder. Where is that folder? YouTube, live stream stuff. Okay. Sorry, it's just going to be called Screenshot. Not very exciting. I'm not going to change the name right now. But I do have Discord up. And then I go to Tom's, what is it called? Tom's Lesson PDFs. Good. Thank you for not putting anything up there. I appreciate that. Also, I can put that little diagram with the chord things if you want that too. Triad notes. Okay, but I got to click away from Discord or else it's going to make clicking noises. All right. If you haven't watched the new video, check it out on my YouTube channel. It'll be the most recent upload. Currently 500 views, which is not bad. You know, it's not really, videos don't really get profitable until they, you know, worth their time, my time, until they get into the 100,000 range. So I got a long way to go, just so you know. It's not worth, I mean, you know, these videos take a long time because I have to create those diagrams. The videos take a lot of time to edit. It's not like a review where I'm just talking about something. Those are really easy. I noticed that Rick Beato does a lot less of those kind of videos because he does a lot less graphically intense videos because he doesn't, I don't know. He has somebody that does that for him, I'm sure, but put the Discord up link. Okay. Sorry, Discord link up. Let's see. That is actually in the description of this video. So if I go to edit that, I can copy that right out of there. So if you're on a browser, you can just scroll down a little bit. But I will put the Discord link up so you can go get all of the, and I'll pin it so it's always up there. Okay. You can get any music, any diagrams, anything I create, anything that's on any of these, you know, any of these videos, scales, things like that we've been working on, all this stuff. I mean, I can go way back here. I mean, some crazy stuff. What's that? That's crazy stuff. What is this stuff? That's insane. Do you remember this? This is memories, like the corners of our mind. Okay. So, all right, here we go. This is where we're at now, though. So again, don't worry about this, but the inversion of a third is a sixth. Inversions should always equal 9 when you add them together. So the inversion of a fifth is a fourth. The inversion of a second is a seventh. The inversion of a seventh is a second. And the inversion of a sixth is a third. And the inversion of an octave is a unison. Okay? So if I play G to G and then G to G, it's a hard one to kind of quantify, but so how do I explain inversions, or and I may be using the wrong word. You need to add a phrase about reacting to Dimash, what's his name, and you'll get 100,000 views. Who's Dimash? I don't know what that means, but I'll take your advice. So basically, if I count up 3, 1, 2, 3 from G, I get B. If I count up 7 from B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, see, that's 6. I'm sorry, I meant 6, not 7. If I count up 6, that's a sixth. Okay, so this G to B is a third. B to G is a sixth. Okay. Now here's where it kind of is cool, but also maybe a little confused. But I'm not going to explain necessarily why this happens. But if the inversion of a major third is a minor sixth, that's a minor sixth inversion. Major sixth would be this. Okay, N, B, C is that first interval in N, B. That's a major sixth. That's one of the tricks you learned way back in the day. Like, oh, what interval is this? You learn to hear that major sixth pretty quick because you think NBC. And that's a free advertising for NBC. That doesn't require a sip. But so if I were to play a third, okay, G to B. If I wanted to do a sixth, it would be, I would go from B to G. G to B is a third, and then B to G is a third. Now, or a sixth. Now, here's the other thing. The inversion of a minor third chord, or a minor third interval, is a major sixth. So the inversion of a minor third is a minor sixth. I'm sorry. The inversion of a major third is a minor sixth. Inversion of a minor third is a major sixth. So I'll give you an example of a. So here's a major third. Okay, so if I wanted to play instead of thirds and I wanted to do sixths, then I can take this lowest note here, the root note, the melody note, up an octave, leave this other note here, and now I've got amazing grace, so sweet the sound. Okay, you see what I'm doing there? So that's a different sound than thirds. Oops. And I'll get to that in a second. I think that was the inversion I would have. Well, we'll figure it out. So we had a third like this, but we take that G up an octave. Okay, we find a G up an octave, and we keep playing that third, and that's a sixth. Now, and I took, because what we just did there was we took the melody up an octave. So here we're harmonizing up a third. Okay? Right? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I know what reaction videos are. In fact, I did one for ETA about a year ago when that came out, because I hadn't heard it. So it was me listening to my song for the first time. So instead of harmonizing up a major third or up a third, we're harmonizing down a sixth. So now the melody's on top, and whoever's singing the harmony is singing below. So we go, and then the person, so you've got two voices still. But one is like a soprano and one's maybe an alto or a tenor. Okay? And then the next harmony was the B and the D. And that's a minor third. We didn't really talk about what kind of thirds. We talked about going up in the scale. So now I've got to take that lower note up an octave, and I end up with this. Well, there's an easier way to play that. It's here. So I was playing 3 on the top 2 strings, 3 and 7. But you can play it on 7 and 7, but make sure there's a string in between there. So third string and first string. So we have amazing grace, right? And then the next thing we had was that. We had the, we did, it's written there, the A and the C. We had that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that A up an octave. We're going to end up with this. Okay. So now I should have written out this one too, but. And then what we did was we went. So we're going to go. Now we're going to do a fifth. So I'm not going to get too deep into it, but that's one way to harmonize, come up with 6, is to do the thirds and then take the note, the melody note up an octave. Inversion is the distance back to wherever you started from. So if we're going G, A, B, that's a third. The inversion of that is the distance from the B back up to the G. If we start on A in the key of G, we have G, A, C. A, B, C, right? And then and then from C to A, that's the inversion of the A to C. C to A is the inversion, okay? So it's just the remaining difference. An inversion is Becker. Let's see what he says. Let's see. An inversion is when you choose a bass note in your. Well, that's different. That's a different use of the word inversion. Yeah, inversion that's different. Like if you want to put the root in the bass or the fifth, or third in the bass or the fifth in the bass. Those are different inversions of chords. But the inversion of an interval, and I'm pretty sure that's the word I'm thinking of. It's been a while since I've been in music theory class. But two notes is an interval. We have G to B, for example, and that's a major third in interval. The inversion of that is B to G, up to G. Same two notes, but it's a wider interval. See that? So let's say I do a fourth, G to C, a fourth. Well, the remaining, if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C to G is a 5. Well, you can see that's a 5 because it's a power chord. Yeah, this is interval inversions, not chord inversions. Yeah, but Becker is 100% right. Yeah, and so the thing is, if it's a minor third, the inversion is going to be a major sixth. If it's a major third, the inversion is going to be a minor sixth. See, this is where it gets kind of crazy. But if it's a minor second, okay, like a minor second would be F sharp to G. That's a minor second. Okay, 1, 2. It's the very next note in the scale. If I did an inversion of it, that means I go from G to F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's a major seventh. Both of them are kind of dissonant, but when you play them in context of like a major seventh chord, it sounds beautiful. Yes, a major third inversion is a minor sixth, but a perfect fourth. It's called a perfect fourth, not a major fourth, not a minor fourth. It's a perfect fourth. The inversion of a perfect fourth is a perfect fifth. And if we had an augmented fourth, the inversion of that is a diminished fifth. Don't worry about it. Again, like I said, it was not going to be a quiz on this. But you can simply find the corresponding sixth by taking the lower note of a third and taking it up an octave. Okay? So like if I were to harmonize a G major scale with thirds, it would sound like this. Okay, let's do it on the second and third string. Yeah, no, you know what? It works better on these two strings because of what we're going to do next. So you're going to run out of room here, but we're on the middle two strings, okay? So on the fourth string and on the fifth string, on the fourth string and the third string, we're going to play 5th fret and 4th fret. Oops. Exactly, 2 and 7, 3 and 6, 5. They always add up to 9. Technically, yeah, well, not only is it Greek, Valerie, it's also very geek. It's geek. This is very geeky stuff. Okay, so here we have a major third. So I got the G. I'm doing a G scale on one string, and I'll do the G scale on the other string, but I'm going to start on the third there. So I'm going to play the two together. It ends up like this. And somebody pointed out, who was that pointed out Wednesday, that the major and minor, it corresponds to where the major and minor chords are. So the first interval, G to B, is a major third, then A to C is a minor third, B to D is a minor third, then major third, then major third. Just like the one chord is major, the 2 chord is minor, the 3 chord is minor, the 4 chord is major. It all corresponds because that first interval is the determining interval there that in the triad of whether it's going to be a major or minor triad. See, here's G major, G minor would be like this. See how sad, smile, happy, sad, now from. Sad face. Are you really doing it? Seriously? Are you really making a face on by yourself? All right, sorry, I'm making fun of y'all. Okay, so don't worry about what I'm doing, but you don't need to worry about the analytics of it, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. So I'm gonna use, on the major thirds, I'm gonna use my first two fingers. On the minor thirds, I'm gonna use my first finger and the third finger. So we're gonna go here, we got 5th fret and 4th fret. And then I'm gonna go 7th fret and 5th fret, okay? Then I'm gonna move that up 2 frets and go 9 and 7. And I'm gonna go up and put my second finger on and go 10 and 9, okay? And then I'm going to go 12 and 11, so I'm just moving that up 2 frets. Then I'm gonna go 14 and 12. Oh, was there a question I missed? Oh, thank you, man. J302, or OT, sorry. Yeah, you're very welcome. Okay, so that's 14 and 12, and then again, sorry about this, and I could do it there, or I could do it wherever I could do it there, but I kind of wanted to stay it on 2 strings. If you're playing electric, this is no problem. 16 and 14, and then 17 and 16. Okay, now that's. So you can take any melody you play on this string. Now you got the harmony in G. Okay. Now if we were to take that bottom note, and now we're going to take instead of the harmony being above the melody, we're going to put the melody on top. Now we're going to do the G scale here. You should be able to do that. So I'll tell you the frets. Top string, 3, 5, 7, 8, whole step to 10, whole step to 12, whole step to 14, and a half step to 15. Remember, half step is 1 fret, whole step's 2 frets on the guitar. Backwards, 15, 14, 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, and 3. Okay, so what we're going to do now is the note we did on the G string is not going to change. You hear that all the time, you just didn't know what was going on, but those are sixths. These were thirds. Major third, minor third, minor third, major third. This is minor 6, major 6, major 6, minor 6. It's the inversion. How are you picking? Are you the disc pick up and down, up or down? On the thirds, I'm just playing down because they're strings, but I'm using hybrid picking for doing the 6 because I don't want that open B string to ring out. So I'm plucking the lower string with the pick, and I'm using my second finger on the top string. That's called hybrid picking. Basically 3 types of picking. You've got with a pick, with your fingers, and then with both. It's kind of like 1-0 or 1-0. Okay. Valerie. Oh, where's Valerie? Oh, hey, Valerie Rogers. No, it's, and Valerie, here's the thing. I always say this, just keep watching because I explain things over and over again. I kind of feel bad doing that because I know there's some people like Becker that know this, or even John, people that, Sam, who's not with us today, but he's getting both of his hips replaced today. Crazy in Michigan. Man, it's going to get cold. He'll feel it. Hey, Brucey's going to have to move to Florida with you. Because I imagine when you get metal, I don't know what hip replacements. I'm assuming there's some form of metal, right, or maybe plastic. But they they get cold in the winter. I imagine you could feel it when it's really cold up there in Michigan. So I used to spend summers in Michigan. Some of the coldest winters I ever spent were summers in Michigan. So we used to, like, for the last 20 years, we went to Pentwater, Michigan, And I grew up going every summer as a kid, going to Lake City, Michigan, which is near Cadillac. So any Michiganders. Yeah, Holly's always happy when another girl is on the chat. So is Catherine and Lena. My viewership among women is about 11%. So I need to be better looking. So I'll work on that. No, I'm just kidding. That has nothing to do with it. Well, maybe it does. What does Ashton Kutcher have? Okay, so yeah, so that was a harmonized in thirds, and then the same exact thing, but the melody now, instead of being down here, the major scale, do re mi fa sol la ti do is up here. Do re mi fa sol la ti do is on top now. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to show you now the fingerings. We got two fingerings. The minor third is fingered like this. Okay, so I'm putting my first finger on the 3rd fret of the top string, and I'm putting my second finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And if you want, you don't have to do hybrid picking. You can try to strum them, or you can use thumb and a finger, or you can also just separate them. Go pick, pick. So down, up. If that's what you may have been asking me that. That may have been what you were asking me. Somebody was, yeah. So. It just depends. We've had a lot of discussion about how to pick something, and I apologize that my this music is in the way. I'm going to move this a little, make it a little smaller here. There we go. And I just uploaded that little screen cap on to Discord, so it's up there. So that's a minor third. The very next interval, I'm going to slide up 1 fret with my second finger like this and add my 3rd finger there. And that's a major third. Let's do all of this again. I'm going to do it all again, but I'm going to go much slower, okay? And I'm going to make it more exercisey, okay? so everybody, deep knee bends, up, down. No, just exercisey. It's a word. Come on. Give me a break. Okay, so there's the minor third. And keep in mind, there's our root. That's our melody there. So the harmony now, whoever's harmonizing is singing below. On a side note, one of my favorite, I love the way that Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks harmonize, because oftentimes Stevie or Lindsey, who's got a very high voice, will sing above Lindsey. I mean, above Stevie, who's got a fairly kind of a husky alto voice, and just a great sound to have a guy singing above a girl. It's just kind of cool. So I love that sound. It just really worked well with Fleetwood Mac. Saw him live a few years ago with Alex. Okay, so play that. That's the minor. This is the root, and this is a minor 6th. And then we're going to go here, and there's a major 6th. Okay, there's the A on top, and so we're at the 5th fret and the 5th fret. Okay, now go back and do it again. And if you want to separate them, just do that. Oh, you're younger than me, Becker. That's why. You're better looking than me. Which isn't hard. Your hair is not as goofy as mine. What the heck? I got a mohawk going on. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? That's what my hair wants to do when it gets cut. It just wants to go, we're light. I can fly. Okay. The way I play guitar makes me the most handsome man in the world. Do I owe you money, Lena? Do now. Okay, so there's that. And then remember, the next interval was also a minor third. We just went like that. So we're just going to go up 2 frets to 7 and 7. Okay? And and go back down to 5 and 5, and then go down to 4 and 3. Practice that. Try to get that under your fingers, as we say. Okay? And if you think about it, look at this. Check this out. Notice what those same 2 notes are in this chord, this G major chord. And those 2 notes are in this A minor chord and in this B minor chord. So you're kind of doing a miniature version of these giant bar chords. Oops, sorry. Okay? Now, if you want to do the really kind of corny, stereotypical country lick or whatever, I'll show you that. So go back up to here, okay? So we're at 7 and 7, right? So hit the low note, the high note, and the low note. Do that for me. Okay, got it? You got that? Huh? You got it? Okay. Now go down 1 fret to the 6th fret and do it again. Go down to the 5th fret and do it again. And then go down to the minor 6th. And end on G on top. Check it out. Isn't that cool? So that's kind of the typical. You could even do the open B string. It's a lot of different things. I know I would do things like that, where I'm pulling off the finger off to the open string. It sounds really good on like, which is, see, I'm pulling off to an E, so it's not really a good note in the key of G. But if I do it that same thing here, then I got a D string to pull up. Or I can do kind of a Chet Atkins-y kind of vibe. But yeah, so you, and if you want to make it a little bit more even flourishy, you could do this. See, I went, or you can go down to 3, slide into 4, and then hit the high note. Or you go down to 2, slide up to 4. I mean, you know, I'm always about whatever. You know, I'm always about less teaching you how to play guitar and more about how to make music. That's really, like I said, that was the best comment I ever got. Was you don't teach people how to play guitar, you teach people how to make music. And really that's kind of really my MO. I mean, that's, you know, playing, it's funny because I have a very good friend. In fact, I'm hoping to do an interview with him. He is so good at learning songs and knowing all these classic rock songs and everything. And he's great at parties, right? He's that guy. I mean, he just knows everything. And I'm awful at that because I haven't played in a cover band since 1982. So I don't even remember any of those songs, and mostly disco stuff and funk and R&B stuff. So, so I've always just been about creating music. I've had all these original bands through the years with my wife and with other people. I've written music for television. I've written music for other people. I've written, pop songs and things like that. And I'm more about creating music. And I always say this: I'd rather write a screenplay than watch a movie. It's just that's how I'm wired. And so same thing with I was just. It's funny because I was doing a writing session with some young writer with a young pop artist who I've got a couple songs coming out on his new record. The 26th. So, I was getting together with him at his place just Wednesday after our last live stream. And he pulled up some music like Spotify and goes, I really like this and I really like that. Oh, and have you heard these guys? And have you heard these guys? And I'm like, I haven't. I really don't keep up on everybody. I try not to listen to too much pop music because I don't want to copy. Part of why people hire me is because I create hooks that nobody else has thought of. I mean, I'm sure somebody's thought of, but they haven't gotten it to a record. But I mean, there's only so many things you can do on a guitar. But I'm always messing with the guitar to try to give myself different ideas. So, so that's kind of my MO. So that's what I'm trying to show you. Musical things that you can use. Okay, so so far we've done the first 3 notes of the major scale. Do, re, mi. Okay, so the next note is C. Well, if you know, the C chord is a major chord in the key of G, so we're going to have a minor 6th there now, because the third was a major third. That's what made it a major chord. But the inversion of that major third, that distance there is a sixth, a minor sixth, remember? So if it's a major, the inversion's a minor. If it's a minor, the inversion's a major. Okay, so here we go. 3rd fret and 4th fret. Then slide the 2nd finger up 1 fret and then put the 3rd finger on the same fret, 5 and 5. Go to 7 and 7. And then take the 2nd finger up to 9 and then take off your 3rd finger and put your 1st finger on 8. Okay? So now we're implying the C triad. We literally have 2 of the 3 notes in the C triad. We have a C and an E. The only thing missing is a G. If we want all 3, we could do a little triad like this. Like a reggae or a ska. Here's reggae. Here's ska. Same thing, but just twice as fast. Okay. Okay, so we're at 9 and 8. Sorry, my brain sometimes. Okay, then 7, go back down, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, and then 4 and 3. All right? All right, the next chord, if you think about it, is D major. So we're just going to take this up 2 frets. So play this 8th fret and 9th fret. Okay, and then go up 2 frets to the 10th and 11th. That's where we're going to end up. Okay, so now that implies the D chord, the D major chord. Okay, so we're at 11 and 10. Go back down to 9 and 8. Go ahead, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, and 4 and 3. And remember, the melody we're considering right for the time being is this. Okay. All right. So we've got 2 more. We've got technically 3 more to do. We have this one up an octave is the 3rd one. So you're going to have a little struggle there. One thing I'm doing, you look at my thumb here. Look where I'm putting my thumb when I'm playing up here. That I learned from classical guitar. That's a classical guitar technique. When you do the Segovia scales, let's see, where's a hard one? Let's see, B major. See, when you got to get up to this B note here, which technically on a classical guitar, that would be the highest note. Acoustic guitar tends to have 1 more fret. There you go. But you can see that a couple things are happening there. I learned in study of classical guitars that my thumb is like this, okay, on the side of the fretboard. But also, look at my 1st finger. It's collapsed. That's intentional, okay? We're not going here, but that's how they teach you to do it. And it actually works pretty good. But we're not going to need to go that far. But you might want to bring your thumb around here. Don't worry about trying to keep it there. You can kind of bring your thumb around to the side. Not very often in life you're going to need to go up there, but this is more of a theoretical practice. This is more of a way for you to start hearing some of these intervals and sixths and harmonies and things like that. So this is what we've done so far. Okay, do it with me again. 4 and 3, 5 and 5, 7 and 7, 9 and 8, 11 and 10, 9 and 8, 7 and 7, and 7 and 7. Is that a drink? So 5 and 5. I think that may be the first drink I ever had is 7 and 7. I told you the story about that. I wasn't of age. Okay. What did I say? Oh, did I? Oh, sip for Sam. Okay. Everybody, oh, sorry, I saw it. Sip for Sam. All right. It's going to be interesting. I almost wish, like, he could get online right after the surgery so we could just see what kind of jumbled stuff he would text. Okay, so we're up here, right? We're at 10 and 11. So the next one is 12 and 12. Okay? So we're on the E. Did we ever have an E? We did have an E in the melody, but yeah. So when we did that E and we had a G, okay? In the melody, remember we went That right there. Okay, that's E and G, and the inversion of that would be G and E. So it'd be that, or this, or that. Same thing. Okay, so that's basically, this is basically an inversion of this, just 2 octaves higher. Okay, so I'm at 12 and 12. Can you see that? You know, I could probably go here. No, what is it? I can get rid of this. This way you can see better. Okay, so, and then we go back down. So we're 12 and 12. We go back down to 11. So you need to keep in mind, use your second and third finger for these. Just feels real good. Something about that, that's like, feels great in the hands. And then second finger and first finger for the 11 and 10, 9 and 8, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, 4 and 3. Bob Schumann. Okay, take this one up 2 frets to 14 and 14, and we're almost done, right? If you want to really create some tension in a room, and you know, I hope your reply to that was always. All right, good night, everyone. You just leave the you know, it's like. Good night, everyone. You just leave that chord hanging. Leave them wanting more, right? Just one more chord. That's all we want. Okay. That's how far we've gotten now, 14, 14. And the last one is going to be 16 and 15, which is the same as this if you just add. I'm also going to do a TikTok today. I'm going to do the James Bond chord on TikTok today and try to get people to migrate to my YouTube channel. So, yuck, yuck. Now, those shapes transpose or migrate down to the fourth and second string too. So if I were to do that same thing here, down 1 string. So I'm still at the 3rd fret and 4th fret. This would be a harmonized D major scale. Oops. Okay. Can you show the chords below the starting G? Can you show the chords below the starting G? Shave and haircut, yeah. Although in Mexico, that the last 2 notes they say "fu," so you're not supposed to play that if you're around a lot of Latinos. Like I don't do it at church because we have a lot of Latinos at our church. It's a big I mean, our church is very diverse. But it's like, I don't ever go at church. Not going to happen. Let's see. Can you also show the chords below the starting G? I'm not sure what that means, Izzy. I'm sorry. Or Mamba. Oh, Flores. Who's Flores? Is Flores new? I'm not seeing a Flores. Did I miss Flores? Okay, so another thing we can talk about, it was somebody was asking me about this, was reharmonizing this, and of course if I do that, we wouldn't use this chart because if we're going to reharmonize, we're just going to start with the bare bones. You could totally harmonize it like that. Do you know what that's from? 40. Oh, 4322200, or up this way. Oh, you're talking. Oh, I see what you're saying. Down that way. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I can show you that. Because that's actually more usable in some ways if we're going to be playing in open position. I mean, this is great to see. Just to start to see harmonies like that. And again, keep in mind the harmony technically. I mean, you can harmonize up a sixth, and this could be your melody. But the ear is naturally going to be drawn to the top note. So most people are going to think that's the harmony. Yeah, give me a second, Mamba, and I'll show you that. But yeah, so what is it? That's a weird chord. I mean, it's just a C sharp augmented, but in the key of G. It's kind of odd. When I was younger, so much younger today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. It's a great lick. I mean, that is just a freaking brilliant lick, and it's just like the Beatles just did stuff like that. It was like, where did they pull that from? And I think it's just from messing around. And when they came out, it was like everything was, everything was 1-6-4-5, or it was like a blues 1-4-1-5 or something. And so they just was like, well, why not use the 2 chord or the 3 chord or the minor 4 chord or the minor 6 chord or whatever, major 6 chord or whatever. So oh, thanks, Tal. I think everybody knows where I stand. So, everybody has to make their own decision about that kind of stuff. So that C I always have to, oh, you got it. Okay. I don't know, when you type in C, the letter C, U, it always has to be approved. Okay. So, Mamba was asking how to, so what I'm going to do is this. Okay. Went up. Now we can do it. And so it's going to be a little bit more, not as simple as far as this goes. Remember, we had 2 shapes, minor 6th and a major 6th. That was it. Those are only 2 shapes. Here, it's the same thing. We still only have major 6th and minor 6th, but it's going to be a little bit more weird looking. But I'll go ahead and I'll show it to you descending. So basically, I'm doing the same thing. Okay, and it's a cool thing to have in your. And I just added the open string in between those notes. And John's looking at my right hand going, you're doing efficiency, or what is it? Efficiency? What kind of picking is that? Economy picking, yeah. Let's see what I do it with. That's hard. The alternate pick. Okay, so I'm playing 4 and 3. Okay, and I'm going down to 2 and 2. Okay, what's going on? Sorry, Alex is. I'm being asked if I want to get lunch with my son. Sure. Okay. Okay. 2 and 2. 0 and 0 on the 3rd string and on the E string, G and E string. Okay. Then I'm going to use that shape that we used here on G. I'm going to use here. I'm on the 4th string and on the 2nd string, and I'm 4th fret and 3rd fret. Okay. I don't think I played on any of the. I did the writing sessions with everybody, so everybody that worked on the record, I worked with them, like Skrillex and All Day and people like that. That's right, the record came out today. I got to listen to it. But no, I don't think there's any my guitar on there. I'll listen to Off My Face. If that's my guitar, then they forgot to let me know. But I'll check it out. And then 1st and 2nd finger, okay? And then just take that down 2 frets and go to the 1st fret and 3rd fret, or 1st fret and 2nd fret. And then open in 2nd string, okay? So we did. And then this is actually a minor, a major, major 6th. But it feels like a minor 6th in your hands, but it's actually a major 6th. Because remember, the strings are different. Okay? And then, so that's 3 and 2 on the 5th string and on the 3rd string. And then 5th fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, and open G string. So we end on a G. So we're just harmonizing that. So, all right, so let's see. All right, so let me play. I'm gonna play the. Ah, shoot. What am I doing? Here we go. I'm gonna do the harmonized one. I forgot about the C chord. So you don't have to do the harmonies, everything. I have to have, see, I have to read this one to get the thirds. And that's very pretty too. And so what I'm doing there is I'm kind of keeping the same harmony I had before, but instead I'm taking the melody up an octave. And that's one of the tricks that we talked about. One of the musicality and embellishments. Let's see. That list. Oh, that list isn't there right now. But one of the tools you can use is the octave, or just not even octave, not playing it in octaves. You could do that. Well, that's it. You can play it in octaves like Wes Montgomery or something, but just taking the melody up an octave. So let's say you have to play it twice. You can do it. Oh, hold on. Let me text Alex real quick. You know I'm not a major YouTuber when... oh, wait. There we go. When I'm texting my son. Well, he borrowed my oud and lute yesterday and, for a session today, so... okay, so all right, so we'll watched a few times. Oh, thanks, James Bond. James Bond lifestyle makes me think that you're Mauricio Guerrero Jr. with a secret handle, a friend of mine. And should I do the Bond chord? I'm going to do this today on TikTok, I think. Well, with Alex coming over, probably won't get around to it, but we'll see. Let's see. So, sorry, I'm trying to get my windows in order here the way I want them. There we go. Let's see what else have we got going on here. It doesn't matter. It's fine. You can type CU. It just cracks me up that it's like, it's not FU, it's CU. Beth, my wife, when she was a school teacher full time, she's a sub now, but she's literally working full time. In fact, she's working long days because she's also doing help with the school district, helping them with a kid who is homebound student. So she also does some organizational stuff for them, but for that family. But back in the day when she taught, junior high inner city kids, if you gave someone an F, if they didn't do their work or they had bad grades, it would be an F. They get an F, right? And then if you'd have satisfactory, unsatisfactory, well, usually if they were an F student, they were unsatisfactory. So she got to write FU on their report card. And she would put her initials, which were BS. So she liked that. Okay, so on Monday, I think we're going to continue with some musicality stuff. We'll talk about some different things. Maybe by Monday, I will have an exercise. I'm working on an exercise for slurs, a slur exercise. I may have to call the video slur exercises, parentheses, no, not those kind of slurs. So we'll see. But it, I was coming up with a kind of a pattern that you could repeat up and down the fretboard that would work all of the different options of slurs. So I'm trying to come up with something that's not already pre-existing in a book, which is good because it's kind of a creativity thing. Basically slurs are when you hammer on. So I'm thinking like, and then do it the opposite, pull off. And then and that's pretty hard. And then also I could do one that was against strings. You go, well, let's see, you can't really do that. I could do that, or I could do woo! That's hard work. You can really feel those slur studies in your hand. You can really feel the burn on these. Well, one thing I might do is in fact, I may do it on the A minor and G minor. I'm sorry, the A minor and E minor videos that I just did. Because so what I'm thinking about doing is creating these PDFs or something that I can upload to Etsy, and people can go buy them for like $2. I mean, it's a really cheap amount that they can go and download the PDF. It doesn't cost me anything. I don't have to mail anything. But like particularly all the PDFs that I'm coming up with, or I mean, I would have to create the PDF, so I don't know how much it would be worth my time. But I figured I might start doing it with that. But if I do this slur study exercise, I will definitely probably create a whatchamacallit, a finale file and turn it into a PDF so that you can read it if you want on tab and in music. So we'll see, in music and tab. So we'll see. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that, but it's definitely try to make sure that I'm generating revenue anywhere I can, because justify doing all this. All right. Django would just be two fingers, yeah. Yeah. It's definitely one of those things where you're like, oh man, you can really feel it. It's easier on electric. But on classical, that was, slurs are very common in classical guitar music. So I would definitely do, you needed to have that skill. So let me grab that little list I put together. I think that let's see, is this it? No. Here it is. pretty small. And let me. Okay, so an appoggiatura is just basically a pull off. A double appoggiatura would be pull off and a hammer on and pull off. We would call them a hammer on, but so I was like, what did I mean by appoggiatura? And I was kind of looking for different types of embellishments, and that was one of them. So this would be an appoggiatura, or would be a double appoggiatura. So, and in violin, what that means is that would be on one bow stroke, or that would be on one bow stroke. If it's not an appoggiatura, I think it'd be like if you're plucking bow stroke in each direction. So you go down, stroke like that. So yeah, I've got the Picasso here that I just got. I have to do it on the second string. It's going to totally mess up my strings, but oh gosh, it's so dirty. But like, let's see if I can get it. It's really hard. I've just got it, so I don't. So there I'm doing a stroke with each note. But if I go. Yeah, anyway, I've got to work on this. I know how much you all love seeing me struggle, so I figured I might as well try it. Sham, how to protect our fingers from a guitar. I think he was just referring to my painful. One of the things that if you're, you'll notice the difference between tendon pain and muscle pain. Muscle pain is just your. Oh, thanks, Paul. Muscle pain is just your. Your fingers kind of getting it down. You don't want to hurt your tendons. Your muscles, you don't want to pull a muscle either, obviously. But I've never pulled a muscle playing guitar. But I have had, and there have been some people that have gotten carpal tunnel. I have a friend of mine that did that. Because he had fairly small hands. He was trying to do all these classical pieces that had really major stretches on them. So he gave himself carpal tunnel. So you don't want to do that, obviously. That would be horrible. So you just kind of have to let your body tell you when you're working too hard on sliding fourths. Yeah, I use sliding fourths all the time. It's more of an R&B thing, though. Yeah, no. Jimmy Page was famous for using a bow. And I have a bow that I could use. It's really cumbersome. That's the beauty of this thing, this is actually two-sided, which is cool. So there's a bow on both sides. So you can do two strings at once if you angle it. I'm going to have to have a guitar that's specifically designed for, or that's strung specifically for it. It's funny because I may end up using my Taylor 814, which is a really nice guitar, but I don't play it very often. So I thought, well, I could string that up with regular strings and use it. It'll actually get a lot more use if I start using this thing on soundtracks. Like I said, this thing is kind of filthy, and I think the idea is to kind of use this cloth to kind of clean off everything, or maybe it's to clean off your guitar. But it's a beautiful, not cheap, but it's a beautiful little piece of work. And I'm assuming these, and they wrap around, which is cool. So it's the same hairs that go around. I'm assuming they're not real horsehair or whatever hair they use on violin bows, but there's some kind of synthetic hair. But as far as fourths go, I mean, I use fourths all the time, but more in an R&B context. But it is also a musical and embellishing device, so it's not off subject. But I use it more for like a fill or you know, it could be a solo thing. Pull out the SG. You pick. Boom. Okay, so I need a clean sound because this game. Now, generally, on everything, on every string, the strings are basically tuned in fourths, except the second and third string. Second and third strings are a major third, so to make a fourth, you have to go one fret apart like this. Let me just create kind of a. Let me see what I get. Here, I'm going to go to guitar rig. I'm just going to pull up R&B sounds, styles, R&B. Where's that? Funk and soul? Sure. Clean chorus. What's that? What do you sound like? Probably not going to be too clean with the humbuckers, but. You know. Oh, there's a tremolo on here. What is that tremolo? What's that? Weird. Chorus. It's supposed to be chorus. I actually have this real pedal. I don't need that on. But like, I'm not too. But I'll use fourths quite a bit. Like I said, in more of an R&B context. So a fourth is two adjacent strings, and you just have to find notes that are in the key. So, and then also be in tune. And then slide. When he says sliding fourths, that's what I usually do. Is I go up and then come back down. Very Earth, Wind, and Fire kind of vibe. Shining star for you to see. Sing a song. Is that what that is? Is that the intro to Sing a Song? Something like that. And so you just have to find shapes, and usually they're kind of pentatonic. If that answers your question. Let's see, is that just a fifth and a root? Yeah, a fifth and a root, and then that's the fifth and the root of key of C, and then that's the sixth and the second of the key of C, which is also a fourth apart. You know, I'm not even thinking about what notes I'm playing. It's more just I know that this is going to work over the C chord. I'm not thinking too much. Once you got it down, you don't think too hard. Yes, we are sending Sam our love and prayers. Oh, let's see. What time is it there? So wasn't his surgery at 11:30? So I wonder how long it is. A double hip replacement probably take a few hours, I would think. The doctors, I wonder if they're sitting down or standing up. Surgeons, man. They're like the rock stars of the medical world, right? So yeah, Gibsons are so finicky with the tuning. Oh my gosh. Also, one of the things we didn't talk about, it didn't even mention up there with the musicality embellishments, and it kind of I could add to that style, but that's a huge thing, and style would be like jazz. Like, well, you could do. How would you play this if it was a jazz tune? You know, well, for one thing, the chords would probably be different. You wouldn't be playing over. You would probably be playing. You might be doing. I don't know. You know, so there would be different harmony going on. So that would inspire different note choices and embellishments. You know, sometimes we wouldn't use that F sharp, but we might use it more if we were playing in a jazz context. But, or, you know, if we were doing a rock thing, or, you know, a bluegrass version, or a country version, you know, you might do, you might go, you know, you might do more things like that if it were a country tune. Obviously, on acoustic guitar, it's going to be difficult to play. But let's see. What? Oh, yikes! What? What did I do? Or what? You like those pedal steel licks? You're really asking for trouble when you on a Gibson when you start bending behind the nut. Got the I don't know. I'm not a country player. Oh, yikes! What Bruce said? What did Bruce say? Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I actually, yeah. The way they extract teeth now is totally different. They used to grab them and pull them. Now they shatter them with a hammer and suck them out. It's like, oh my god, totally different than what they used to do. Oh, I'm sure there's some, yeah. Oh, I don't want to know. It's probably why the recovery is so painful. And then my mom got, she had a rotator cuff surgery, and that's the most painful I think I've heard of all the rehabs. and she hated going to rehab. And she goes, they don't care that they're hurting you. I go, well, actually, Mom, they're supposed to hurt you. That's how you get better. She goes, they don't say I'm sorry. They don't ever apologize. I said, well, words have power. You know, if you were to spend your whole day apologizing for doing your job, I think eventually you would start thinking your job was you were doing something wrong, and you're actually helping a person, but it just hurts them. And it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, but you don't want to. Oh man, yeah, your son has COVID. It's going around all year. Well, I hope he gets better. Fatigue, yeah, that's a big part of it. I think I had it, and that was definitely, I could barely get out of bed. I was so, man, I just felt like because I had anemia and I was taking iron pills and I was taking them religiously, and I thought, did I forget to take my iron pills yesterday or something? Yeah, it was probably COVID, but I never got a test because back when I had it, they didn't really do tests. It wasn't a thing. I could also harmonize this with tenths. I love tenths, which is, a tenth is like a third up an octave. So, we did that interval. A tenth would be this. So how would we do that? I gotta run out of frets. Let's see. It's kind of fun. So, let's see. Yeah, I didn't have a cough. I didn't have any respiratory issues, but again, I don't know that I had it for sure, so I don't want to. But I did have lower intestinal issues, which actually at the time I did. That's why I didn't think I had COVID, because I didn't have a cough. Alex had a really bad cough when we think he had it back in the day. Yeah, I'll be praying for. What's your son's name, Bob? I mean, we're all going to have to get it at some point. It's becoming the flu, especially if there's also variations that come around. I mean, they've shut down Paris again for a month. It's like, they're going to have to spend their efforts on cures and the ability to add instead of spending revenue on other things that are maybe not less as important, they'll have to spend money on making sure they have enough hospital beds, things like that, enough workers, enough healthcare workers to take care of people. But that it's almost more of an administrative thing than anything, and just spending the money in the right places. But yeah, because I think, and if we end up, basically my understanding is that if you get the vaccine, you're going to have to get a booster every year in about 5 years or something like that. So basically, you're just talking about the flu shot again. It's a little more deadly than the flu, but not too much more. So not as bad as they thought it was going to be. And it's been lightning fast too how we've dealt with it as far as like getting drugs approved and stuff. So. What's Sham saying? What is Sham? My fingers, toes injured, fingertips injured when I play guitar. Any tips? How can I protect? I don't know what you're doing. Your fingertips are injured. There actually, somebody just said there is something you can put on your fingertips that will help toughen them up, but I'm not sure what it was. It was a comment on. Let's see if I can find that. If that's what you're talking about. you know, if it's causing too much pain, there's no reason to pick up a guitar if you're going to be in pain. That would not be fun. So you don't have to play guitar, but if you can't say no to it, let's see, where was that comment? Oh, I think I commented on it, and therefore, okay, here we go. Somebody commented on my tips for, come on, fresh. Here we go. So there's a product that helped. It's called Rock Tips. Rock Tips. Let me look it up. Rock Tips. She says it's on Amazon, so let me check. If that's what you're struggling with, the tips of your fingers. Everyone has the tips of your fingers hurts. It's not. It's just they just get tougher eventually. So it says only, because let me give you a link to this so you can check it out. Sham, I'm not sure where you are, but there you go. So that is, I think, something called Rock Tips that somebody recommended. You can check that out for yourself. Calluses, wait, what does this say? Callus is spelled, I guess, with just C-A-L-L-U-S. Callus, like if you don't feel anyone's pain, is the O-U-S, I think. Yeah, Holly's pretty good at spelling. I trust her. Let's see. I will. Now, if it's joint pain, that's different. And like I said, you just kind of have to go by. You may be doing too many exercises and trying to do, too many stretches or things like that. Don't worry about exercises are not going to teach you how to play guitar. Just start learning songs and don't worry too much about really crazy exercises. I know I've got a lot of views on that. A lot of my views come from the finger exercises I do, but that's more advanced stuff when you really are noticing that your fingers can't do what you tell them to do. Then you start doing these exercises and they help. And then you find that you've got a little bit more independence in your fingers than you had before. So, all right. Trying to think of what else. So yeah, we will continue to talk about musicality on Monday. And then what was the other thing I said I might talk about? I can't remember. But if I think of it, we may change it. But I'm pretty sure we'll keep talking about musicality and embellishments. I may write out, I don't know if I could do this in 6. So yeah, I could maybe do a version of this in 6th, like I did the 3rd one here. And this is now at the Discord. So the Discord link is at the top there, pinned, and you can find this arrangement with the 3rds and 4ths at the Discord link. Yeah, the tendon pain is the one that you really got to watch out for. And I do try to warm up my fingers. I'm not suggesting my exercises because I don't want you to hurt yourself and go, Tom told me to do this. I'm talking about these exercises. These are almost more like yoga kind of things where I'm just kind of softly, moving my fingers, squeezing them. A lot of times getting blood to the fingertips is a good thing. Don't pull or squeeze too hard. Just do it real gingerly. I don't pop my knuckles. Sometimes they crack. But like this thing, I'm not really twisting hard on this. I'm doing a slight little, just to kind of get them moving. Oftentimes I'll do it on my walk. Also, if you go for a long walk or something and you got your arms down, you'll notice your hands get really swollen. It's because all blood rushes your hands. So if you just lift your hands over your head like this, it gets a lot of blood out of your hands, and that makes them a little less swollen. It doesn't take long. Literally 10 seconds will do it. So, let's see. And then if your wrist is bothering you, it could be an ergonomic thing where you need to maybe change how you're positioning. I mean, I would put your foot on something. I've got this this typical foot stand thing. And I will put my right hand, so that I'm not reaching down too far. I'll put my left foot on it sometimes. I'll put my right foot on it. I'll change up when I'm working. I'll change up sometimes how I'm playing, just so that my back doesn't get. I got an Elvis thing going on here, don't I? Just so that I don't kind of get one position on my back too long. Except when I'm doing live streams, I tend to get up about every 40, 45 minutes and do something on my feet. Whether I stand up and play. Sometimes I do that. A lot of times in the studio when I'm doing a solo, I like to stand up when I'm doing electric solo. It just feels better. Could get into it more. Also, there's that whole thing where you kind of got to put on a show for the producers and make it look like it's a lot more work than it is. I've told you that before. You play a solo and you do, just sit there and play the solo and you do this amazing solo and everybody's like, yeah, that was okay. Can you do it again? You stand up and rock out and you make it look like it. You do the exact thing note for note. Everything is exactly the same, but you just make it look like you're really like totally into it. I learned that lesson a long time ago. So you don't do the two alternatives. You just act like you're really into it from get-go. and then that makes them go, oh yeah, that was great. So Paul Anka said it best. People hear what they see. People hear what they see. So, okay. Yeah, arthritis. And I still want to do that video. Because of COVID, I haven't been able to do the video with Kelly's dad, but Kelly's dad was a rheumatologist. And so I've got a whole long list of questions that I sent him that I want to ask him, but he lives up in Sacramento. So either I'm going to fly up there, he's down here visiting Kelly every now and then, or, or I could technically do a Zoom thing, but I kind of want to sit in person with him if I can, and interview him. And see, and so, and then I'll edit it together. But, there might be recommendations he makes. A lot of people say, should I soak my hands? And those are the kind of questions, soak your hands. Should I soak my hands before I play and after I play? One of the things is the soaking your hands might be a better thing to do after you play and not before you play. I never play after getting out of the shower because your hands are wet and your finger, you'll mess up your calluses. So I usually wait, 30 to 60 minutes before I play after getting out of the shower. If I remember, unless I have to play, and then it's like, I have a choice. But yeah. So a lot of it could be ergonomics. A lot of it's arthritis is a very common thing. And certain medications might be better than others for guitar players. I don't know if there's anything like that. That's kind of the questions I wanted to ask Kelly's dad. So anyway, so in fact, I've got a text her. She asked me something, and I gotta figure that out. Anyway, I will talk to you later, I will see you all on Monday. Sorry, I've got work dropping on me, so I gotta deal with it. Not deal with it. I like doing what I do, but I'll talk to you later. So God bless you, everyone. Keep Sam in your thoughts and prayers, and I'll try to check into Discord later today or tomorrow to see how Sam's doing. Okay. All right. God bless you. Bye-bye.